away from corruption. Corruption is sin because you are not doing the correct thing. Everybody, or few people, are exempted from this. Those that know their honors, but majority, we are corrupt in one way or the other. If I tell a lie because I want to gain something, it's corruption, isn't it? I refuse to tell my wife the truth. It's corruption. I know the question now is which truth? We should learn to be upright. There is no two ways to go into heaven. It's just by doing the right thing. I urge us, therefore, to ask God to help us and give us grace to shun corruption in our day-to-day activities. Thank you, sir.
It is not power that corrupts, but fear. May I humbly request the Deputy Director of Coordination for his closing remarks. Deputy Director, sir.
The commanding officers, our religious leaders, distinguished NAFRC staff. I am Group Captain B.Y. Zakari, the Deputy Director of Coordination. If we were to discuss corruption and its harmful effects, as it relates our country, Nigeria, I think we can spend the whole day discussing corruption as it affects Nigeria and Nigerians. Is one of our very big challenge in this country. And with due respect to our religious leaders, I do not know whether corruption has any positive effect, because the topic is harmful effect of corruption. I don't think it has any positive effect. All the things that we have discussed here from the interactive sessions and all that has more or less has to do with Naira and Kobo, but it's beyond that. It's beyond Naira and Kobo corruption. The person that will go and adjust his date of birth because he's looking for one appointment and that's an age limit. What do you call, or how do you address him? The parent that will go to YXCBT center and sit down and attend questions for his or her child. How do you address such a person? The person that has been assigned to perform a function in an office or a workshop, and he or she decide to stay from morning till closing without doing anything, how do you address such a person? So many examples. And if you look at it objectively, I think more than 80% of us Nigerians are corrupt. And it cut across all sectors, virtually everywhere. When vacancies are declared in offices and establishments, the directors and people, big people around, are the ones that will inform their relations, brothers, nieces, in-laws, and so on and so forth, and denying other people that merited such appointment. How do you address that? I think, I don't know, with due respect to our religious leaders, there's a need for this country to have one leader. Some countries, Thailand and some other few countries, had leaders that transformed their nations. Even in Africa, look at what Paul Kagame is doing in Rwanda. I have visited Kigali, the capital. Rwanda had genocide in 1994. You know, if you call it a civil war, it was a genocide between the Hutus and the Tutsis. But go to Rwanda and see how the country is doing today. Google the Transparency International Corruption Index. You see all the countries in the world, how they fared. Rwanda is one country that is doing very well in East Africa. From DR Congo, if you go to Bukavu, it's just like from here to Badagry so far. Or you have the Great Lakes region, Lake Edward, Lake Kivu, Lake Tanganyika, and some other lakes. Yes, the assistant imam trying to spell out some ways on how this cancer can be addressed. But I would like to say that as a nation, we need attitudinal change. Very many of us are religious. There's no two ways about it. We go to mosques, we go to church, we pray all our prayers and so on and so forth. But when it comes to doing the right thing, so many of us are not straight. Very many of us. And when you're trying to do the little you can, they will call everybody in the world. In fact, if you are not careful, they can even post you out. I had a very serious issue with one of my seniors when I was Commandant Air Force Military School, Jos. He had a child and he was attending a course at National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies. Now, the institute is located in Jos. at Kuru. They were preparing for graduation, and he came and requested for permission for his child to attend his graduation ceremony. I was a wing commander. And I didn't hesitate. I told the Oga, I said, no, sir, this thing is not allowed. The junior airmen, the students that they call them junior airmen, I said, the junior airmen are not allowed to attend social functions except burial ceremonies of their immediate family member. The Oga fled up. He said, how are you wishing me death? This is blah, blah. He was just, I said, no, sir, I'm just trying to spell out, tell you what is written. He said, no, that he's going to send his driver on so date, and the driver will come and take the child, blah, 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 this and that. He has already come with his clothes that he wear, and all his brothers and sisters are around, bleed dizzy. His mother is also coming. I said, so no, sir, it's not allowed. On the fateful day, it was on a Friday, I can vividly remember, he sent the driver. The driver came, met me in the office. And I told him, I said, no, this thing is not allowed. I have to inform Oga that this thing is not allowed. I am not going to allow him. The driver went back, informed the senior officer. Thereafter, he was posted to headquarters. I think as director or something. And that particular year, we were expecting promotion to the rank of group captain. The man went for campaigns, blackmailing me here and there, left, right, and center, blood talking everywhere. One of the senior officers, whose family was in Jos, came and discussed with his wife. You know, women, this one will tell this one will tell another person. So his wife happens to be my wife's friend. So she now called my wife. She said, come on, my friend, this Oga is saying this, that he will make sure that your husband is not promoted, blah, 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 this. So I was serving in Makodi. I was posted out. I was serving in Makodi then. I used to go to Jos every weekend on Fridays. So I went home. I think they met on Sunday. They discussed on Sunday or Monday or whatever after I had left. So when I came on Friday, I saw my wife was not, as if she was sick. This usual, seeing your husband, hugging him, you know, welcome, blah. I didn't see it. So I was wondering, I said, what's the problem? Sat down, she was weak, reluctant. I asked her, I said, what is wrong? Are you sick? She said, no, she's okay. I said, what's the problem? Why are you not behaving normal? He said, no, that's no problem. I called my son. He was in primary school then. I said, was there any problem? Was maybe had any issue with anybody? She said, no, that she didn't, there's no problem. I said, okay. So I went to the mosque, came back after my late evening prayers. So I called her to the room. I said, what is the problem? What is wrong with you? Are you sick? He said, no, that she's not sick, but this is what Oga XYZ came and told his wife, blah, 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 this and that and that. I said, so what is the problem? I said, is the Oga God? He's not God. And I told her, I said, God Almighty knows that I did not do anything wrong. And my destiny is not in anybody's hand. I told her, I encouraged her, I talked, I started smiling and joking, hugging her, I carried her on my, she started smiling and so on and so forth. To cut the long story short, I got my promotion. The same Oga that makes such remarks and so on and so forth happens to be a branch chief at the headquarters when I was posted to Akwa Ibom as commandant. And he was to come and inspect some projects. So I was his host. He came. He didn't know that I had all these stories. I received him, I organized Kotagad. It was a red carpet reception. We treated him very fine. I lodged him in one of the best hotels in Akwa Ibom, Le Meridien. Le Meridien Hotel in Akwa Ibom. It's one of the best hotels. And he didn't know that I had all the campaign, all the blackmail, and all the things that he did. And up to the time he left the service, I didn't tell him. What am I trying to say? If you know that you are doing the right thing, forget about any other person. As an individual, as you see me, I have high regard and respect for my seniors. I don't assume with my seniors. But when it comes to work, I don't bend. I don't. At a time, I was even given a name, Bad Boy, because I refused to play along. And like I always say, and I have said it here too, nobody has your destiny in his hand. If you know that what you are doing is right, don't even look at the other way. I had to address some staff here in this center when I was deputy director of training. And I told them, it's either you do your work or you'll be shown the way out. There is no sentiment. And this is what I always tell my children, wherever they are. I told them, I said, make sure you do the right thing. I told them, if you are in an exam hall and they are sharing answers, don't collect an answer from anybody. And glory be to God, all of them are doing excellently well. So this cancer, I do not know how Nigeria as a nation is going to eradicate it. But the possibility is very, very slim. Extremely difficult. Probably our religious leaders will have some solutions to it. But I don't see it. Because even the children that are growing, if you ask them, this one, you tell you that I want to be CBN governor. This one, you say I want to be Minister of Finance. This one, you tell you I want to be custom boss. They will not tell you that I want to be a school teacher or I want to be a nurse in the hospital. No. Unless if they don't have opportunity for those areas. They look at those areas as plan B or plan C or whatever. But the target is everybody wants to be rich. And whatever God destined for us to get, you surely get it. Right from the beginning, God has destined everything that whoever that is entitled. The liters of water we are going to drink, the amount of food we are going to take, naira and kobo that we are going to have, houses and whatever the positions that you are going to occupy, everything has been destined from the beginning. And you will not leave this earth until when those God's decisions are fulfilled. So what is the worry? What is the fear? Why must you go and cut corners? It's a very serious topic. I don't know how this, like I said, the country is going to address, but I hope and pray that one day in this country, we are going to have a new sheriff who will come and change and undo all the wrongs and put the country into proper perspectives. I was discussing with one of the temporary staff this afternoon in my office, or a co-member. And I told him, I said, the way things are going in this country, it's only God that will help us. Some of us that are in our 50s, we are quarter to go. But our children that are coming up, that's the concern. Anybody that is 50 years, how many years left for you to live? That's the truth. And be realistic. I have looked at all the people that I have known that are passed on. One day I sat down, I was remembering names of people that are passed on. And I discovered about 70%, in fact 80% of them died around 60 years. And I want you to also look at the people that you know that have died. Just look at their ages. It's between 58 to 63 years. About 80% of them. Those that are close to 70, 80, they are very, very few. So what are we saying? I'm 53 years. So I have very few years to live based on what is happening. Yes, like I said, there are few that move to 70, 80, very few. But our children that are coming up is the concern. We'll keep on praying. At your own level, try and do what is right. If your boss is the one to sign, fine and good. Tell him or her, ma, sir, this, X, Y, Z. It's only two ways. It's either he agrees with you or disagrees with you. That's all. But at least you have done your own. And if individually the few that are trying to do the right thing continue to preach and do the right thing, one day we may have a better nation. I wish you a blessed weekend.
Can we please give the Deputy Director another round of applause? Sir, with this, we have come to the end of the PADRE hour. Shall we please rise as the Deputy Director takes his leave?